Welcome back, and now we have with us live Dr. Mostafa Reda, a professor of economy, and we're going to be talking about President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi's initiative, Decent Life, developing with the rural areas and helping the poorer sector of society. Of course, as we all know, that Decent Life is a initiative that is launched by President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi in 2019 to improve the standards of living and the quality of life for the most vulnerable groups in Egypt. And in that domain, he have given his directives for several sectors in the government to be able to execute that mega project. Good morning, Dr. Radi.
Good morning.
How are you doing, sir?
Fine, thank you.
Let us first give a thorough look over that national initiative or plan that is taken by the head of state and the Egyptian administration.
Well, actually, this is a very more important initiative that the president took because since a long time ago, the urban areas in Egypt have been neglected to a great extent. And certainly, they lack a lot, and the population there represents a large number, probably 70% of the total population in Egypt. And unfortunately, the citizens there in these locations have been neglected and did not enjoy the facilities that they should have, as we have here in in the major cities in Cairo and Alexandria. For example, the sewage system, certainly the roads, the schools, a lot of certainly facilities were not available in these rural areas. And certainly by doing this, this will have an indirect impact on improving the economy itself and encouraging productivity, and certainly giving positive reinforcement to the citizens that they will have better quality of life.
Right. By the end of this year, it is expected that this initiative will be covering 357 villages, and that it aims to cover the rest of the villages within 3 years. And how do you estimate the gravity of that national project? Is it going to affect real changes in the rural areas and the poorer sectors of society?
Certainly, the plan has been done that this project is going to reach a great number of villages, and certainly they're going to start with the poor villages which lack a lot of facilities. And certainly there has been a plan, and the finance has been also allocated in the state budget. And certainly the president, as you know, he is on a continuous follow-up on various projects, including this project. You see, if you read the newspapers every day, you see the president visiting a lot of locations and following up a lot of projects, you see, including this one, certainly. And this is a major project, and certainly by the follow-up of the president, this will give a boom and will let the officials take matters very seriously, as certainly since this will be there'll be a follow-up by president. I think that things will take a positive magnitude, and things will be going to very good. We'll have very good results.
Right. The development of Egypt's villages, however, faces a significant challenge, as in the sense of the huge side of the development projects that is required, as each village is different from the other, of course. How do you see that challenges?
Certainly, this is true. Sometimes in certain villages you will be finding, for example, schools which are not in a very good state, but you have the buildings and you have everything there. Probably there will be lack of facilities, of teachers. On the other side, you'll find probably another village, the road or the sewage system is not as it should be. So certainly there will be a detailed study for each village to see what are the needs, and then how these needs will be met. Certainly there will be a plan, and to go into these details certainly will require that everyone in the state does his homework. See, because we cannot throw all our burden on the president. The president is following up on a lot of projects on the road. You can see even on Fridays he's working. You see, he's following up on everything. So certainly it is very, very important to have the teamwork concept, and that all institutions do their homework properly in order that we are going to achieve our objectives.
Right. Dr. Radi, this national plan for developing the rural areas and the poorer sectors in society, it comes as a part of the state's sustainable development efforts targeting those places. How do these projects impact over the unemployment rate?
Certainly, this is a very good question you have raised. When certainly we'll have these projects are going to start up, the first thing the state is going to go is to see what are there citizens which are available to take over some of these projects. Probably let us take an example in the agricultural fields. We have a lot of, in the villages, we have a lot of citizens which have a lot of expertise in the agricultural field. For example, for the sewage system, for the water, for the mineral resources, for all these factors, certainly there will be the state will depend on the local citizens which are living in these villages, certainly. And if the expertise are not available, certainly the state will use citizens from other locations in order to execute the projects.
Right. What do you think is the role of the NGOs when it comes to this very important and effective initiative? Do you think they have some role to play in that one?
Definitely, yes. Certainly. And already a lot of NGOs play an important role in elevating the poverty. You see, meeting the basic needs of certain citizens. I've just read in the newspapers today, since 2 days ago, that Cairo University has provided a lot of blankets and a lot of food stuff for a village which is near Giza here, for 145 citizens, you see, which are under the poverty rate. So this is an example that one of the NGOs are providing, meeting the basic needs. On the other side, certainly, other NGOs which have expertise in certain areas probably will, since the president is taking this initiative, probably I assume that a lot of NGOs will be encouraged to participate with their expertise in order to meet the plans that are executed by the state.
How do you assess the government's support for projects like that and initiatives like that taken by the Egyptian administration? Before that initiative, there was another initiative, important one, that was also applied over the rest of Africa, which is 100 million lives. That was also taken and launched by President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi and was empowered by the Ministry of Health here in Egypt. So where do you see the sectors in the government that are going to empower this initiative this time, Decent Life?
Certainly, as we just mentioned now, the president will be following up on this project, and there will be certainly a report.
Right.
A daily report, showing what are the...
Right. Dr. Mostafa Reda, our economic analyst and a professor of economy. Would like to thank you so much, and we'll have to leave it here with Dr. Reda, and we'll have, by this, we'll come to the end of the breakfast show for this morning. Many thanks to all of you, and until we see you once again tomorrow morning, that's a goodbye.